Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video where today we're going to be comparing both of these smartphone gimbals. They're both from Goodson, they're both MOZA models. This is the MOZA Mini-MI and this is the MOZA Mini-S. Now this is a comparison, not a review. So if you want a review of each one of these, I will link them in the description down below. Today's video is going to be comparing both of these models, and straight away the main differences are the MOZA Mini-MI starts at £99 and has a built-in wireless charger, where the MOZA Mini-S is £79 and is foldable. So it basically goes down really nice, small and compact. The Mini-MI weighs 540 grams, whereas the Mini-S is only 500 grams, so this one is slightly lighter. But the Mini-MI can take phones slightly heavier, so this can take mobile phones up to 300 grams, where this one can take phones up to 260 grams. Pretty much most smartphones now, like the iPhone, is under 200 grams, so an iPhone or a Samsung phone will fit on either of these. Even if they have a case attached, these motors should be able to cope with any smartphone on the market at the moment. They both have internal batteries, so there's no way of taking the batteries out and charging them separate. You have to charge them because the batteries are internal. The Mini-MI takes about 3.5 hours to charge and can last for 10 hours, where the Mini-S takes 3 hours to charge and lasts for about 8 hours. And the Mini-S charges off of the USB-C, which is on the side here, where the Mini-MI charges off a micro USB, which charges on the back down here. And like I said, the main thing with the Mini-MI and what makes it really stand out is that it has wireless charging built into the gimbal. So with no wires attached or anything, all you have to do is double click that power button and then the phone will start to be wirelessly charged by the actual gimbal, where the Mini-S doesn't support any wirelessly charging things or anything like that. But just remember that if you are going to be wirelessly charging your phone through the gimbal, it's going to dramatically reduce the actual runtime of the battery inside of the gimbal, because obviously you're going to be using the battery to run the gimbal and also charge your phone. So that runtime of what it says 10 hours is going to be dramatically reduced because it's going to be charging your phone. So the actual design and build quality of both these gimbals are very, very similar because they're both made out of this sort of soft plastic material. They do kind of both mark quite easily, where the Mini-S has a slightly rougher bit on the back, where this is just smooth all the way around. It's a shame that neither of them have a good kind of rubbery grip because they do get a little bit slippery when we're using it for a long time. And like I said, the main thing with the MOZA Mini-S is that it's foldable and it goes really nice, small and compact. It actually comes with a nice little soft carry case in the bag as well, so we can just put this in our little bag and it still stays nice and small. Whereas the Mini-MI actually comes with a hard carry case, but this is obviously absolutely massive as it's got to fit this whole gimbal in without folding down, where this obviously goes a hell of a lot smaller in a nice little soft carry case. So that is a huge difference, especially if we're going to be taken on holiday or to festivals. This is going to be getting in your way a hell of a lot more than this kind of small, compact, foldable design. But one thing to point out as well with the Mini-MI is the design of it doesn't actually go flat. This arm, no matter how small we make this arm, still doesn't go completely flat. So it still stays quite fat as well. And when we put it into this carry case, it's actually got to go in this way rather than this way because it just won't go flat, which is slightly strange, and they could have made it a little bit smaller. It's just a shame that this just doesn't pack flat. But anyway, and that leads me on to my next point, and that is the Mini-MI actually has a knob and an adjustment to actually slide the clamp and slide the phone left or right. So when we put our phone in, we can balance it and then we have to tighten it up. Whereas on the Mini-S, there's actually no knobs or adjustments on the actual arms itself. So when we put our phone in to this actual gimbal, into the clamp, all we have to do is slide our phone left or right to actually make it balance, which to me just seems a lot easier than having to unscrew this. Even though it's very simple to unscrew this knob, it just kind of takes a little bit of effort away when we're doing it on the Mini-S. And if we want to change from the landscape filming mode to the portrait filming mode on the Mini-S, all we have to do is twist the clamp with the phone in by 90 degrees. And then once it's up into the portrait or the landscape mode, we can just turn it on and film in that position, turn it off, and then we can just spin it back around to film in the other position, landscape or portrait. You just have to twist it around. Whereas on this one, it has a little trick up its sleeve. So once the phone's in and in the normal landscape filming mode, if you then decide you want to go into the portrait filming mode, all you have to do is twist the handle 90 degrees and the phone automatically goes to that portrait filming mode. We get something for Instagram stories, we then twist the handle back around and it goes back to the landscape filming mode. It's just something which I wish the Mini-S had built into it. This is kind of a cool little feature to be able to easily switch between portrait and then landscape. But if you do decide that you just want to film in the portrait filming mode, not in the landscape filming mode, you can do the same what you do on this one. You can just twist that clamp by 90 degrees and then your phone will always be in that actual position, or we just twist it back 90 degrees again and we'll go back to that landscape filming mode. Now, one thing I would say that pretty much every gimbal company does wrong is how complicated it is to go into the different modes that the gimbal has to offer, and it's very confusing to know what mode you're in because all you have is a flashing LED to let you know what mode you're in. They're both the same. You have to remember these kind of sequences to go in and out of different modes, but I would definitely say that the Mini-S is slightly easier to get into a few of the different modes. The main reason is the Mini-S actually has a trigger built into the handle, where the Mini-Me doesn't have a trigger. You just have to do it with this kind of wheel and button bit on the front, where the actual trigger allows me to do a few of the modes I use more often. So for instance, now if the gimbal gets a little bit lost, all I have to do is double press that trigger and it will automatically reset that gimbal and the phone to the centered position. Having that trigger just makes it slightly easier to use some of the modes. Now, one thing that I noticed that the Mini-Me actually doesn't have any stoppers on the motor, so it can just keep spinning around and around, where the Mini-S, it has these stoppers built into it, so it can only go just over 180, maybe 200 degrees, which I don't think is a bad thing because I don't think I would ever spin the gimbal all the way around 360 degrees. But if you're going to be doing something like Inception mode and you want to get a complete spin, this one seems to do it a lot easier than this one because this one has those built-in stoppers. But as you can see, they do look pretty identical and the functionality is pretty much identical. We have joysticks at the very top, which will pan the gimbal up, down, left, down, right. We then have these kind of like circle dial buttons on here. This is actually a wheel which does rotate and spin around, and that's how we change the different modes and stuff. Where this one looks like a wheel, but it's not actually a wheel. It doesn't spin. We just have the up, down, left, and right. The center button is to start and stop recording or change from picture to video mode. Same on this one as well, but we do have to use the actual app for the gimbal, and that's called MOZA Genie. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about the app because both gimbals use the exact same app, so there's nothing to really compare there, but the app does offer lots of different flexibility, and the main things I actually like to use is the Pro mode to easily switch up my white balance, my ISO, or my shutter speed. The advanced time lapse to get these really nice motion moving time lapses. The tracking feature is really cool. All we have to do is draw a box around an object and it will keep it within the shot. Which one do you have? Which one would you prefer? Let me know in the comments section down below. And if you found this video interesting and informative, please give it a big fat thumbs up. And if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified when my next videos go live. And until next time, keep on creating.